Hey, welcome to another episode of His and Hers Gen X podcast with me, Chad, and
Me, Cristina.
so you got to pick the movie for this week. You
Right.
want to tell us about it?
Yes, this is going with the series of disturbing Gen X children's movies. And
Yeah.
this is Return to Oz from 1985.
Really? Oh, I thought it was like
Oh,
82 or
wait.
3.
1983.
Okay.
You're right. 1985 was a big year. And this influenced a lot of movies.
Yeah, and it definitely took a lot of influence from stuff too.
It did. This was my first time seeing this one. So I didn't
Like,
see it as a kid.
oh,
This
you
is.
didn't?
No, this is my
Okay.
first time.
I it's like I don't remember exactly when I saw this, but like at the end when they're in that room and they have to guess which one is the right thing.
Yeah.
That did kind of like jog my memory. I'm like, okay, I this scene seems familiar, but other than that,
Yeah.
I don't have any specific memories of it. So,
No, I feel like if I had seen this movie when I was a kid, it would have bothered me a lot. This movie's dark,
yeah, it wasn't
really
quite
dark.
it wasn't quite as disturbing as I thought it was going to be. I mean, it's only a PG movie and it's a Disney movie technically, so
Yeah, I was kind of trying to watch it from the perspective of, I think, a kid. It would
yeah.
have been extremely dark. There would have been a lot of stuff that bothered me about it, because I don't know. So the old Wizard of Oz, you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It opens. I mean, she pretty much goes to Oz because she has a fever. And I don't know, this kid might go to Oz because she receives electroshock therapy in a mental institution.
Yeah, that's the thing like with the whole Wizard of Oz is like that movie and this movie it's like Calvin and Hobbes. It's like, is it real or did they just imagine it? And so it's
Right.
ambiguous, on purpose to be like leaving up to the viewer. Although I mean, it's really implied in this one that it's real, but it's like
Yeah.
like there's so many not plot holes, but just like unanswered questions of like how did you get there and come back and
Right.
it to me it reminds me of and like I think there was like a whole series of Wizard of Oz books or Oz like back in like the late 1800s.
It said it was based on two books.
Yeah, I'm not
One,
sure what year those came out, but yeah, I think they were like late 1800s.
yeah, and the girl in this one, I guess Ozma is her name. I'm not really clear. Who was
Yeah,
she?
that was the
She's almost like a Glinda type character.
yeah, it's I have a feeling like they made this movie like maybe like they assumed that the audience was familiar with the source material.
Right. Just
Uh,
because of the first one.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I bet you like maybe if you read the books, it would probably answer a lot more questions. But
Yeah.
um,
Did not.
yeah, I don't know. Like to me, this movie has like very little to do with the original Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. Nothing.
Like it's, and also I mean like so like in the original Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland. I don't know. She was definitely like late teens in that movie.
She was supposed to be a child, but she was a
Yeah.
woman, a young woman,
Yeah.
and this was a child.
Yeah, she was definitely prepubescent, probably
Yeah.
like 9 or 10.
Yeah, she was a little girl.
Which
So,
kind of makes more sense.
yeah, because a kid of that age, I mean, should have that imagination. It's not considered weird. Whereas Dorothy, it might be a little bit more weird.
Yeah,
I
when
guess
you're a
the original
teenager.
Dorothy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, in the first one, I don't know, it was more light-hearted. Well, I guess it starts off dark. This one starts off. It takes like 20 minutes
Yeah,
to build to the actual action. It's
think
very
it's-
long.
Yeah, it's way over. It's because it was like an hour and 50 minutes.
Yeah.
It could have been like 90 or like maybe like 80 something minutes.
Yeah, so the first 20 minutes I was kind of bored and I was sitting there thinking if I was a kid I would have probably already tuned out by now.
Yeah,
Before I got to the action.
it's so I looked it up and like the director of this movie, he was a sound guy and I guess he still is.
Yeah.
He's Walter Murch.
Walter Murch.
Yeah.
And it said he never directed after this. I guess it
Yeah.
killed his career.
Yeah, I think this movie bombed in theaters. I don't know if I saw it I don't think I saw it in theaters. I definitely remember
So-
watching it. It was probably something you saw on HBO like on a Sunday afternoon at your friend's house,
I got
on
some,
a rainy day.
Yeah, I never saw it and I think I know why. I got stats on it. The budget was 28 million, which I don't
That's a
know
lot for the time,
how.
yeah.
I mean, like it had really beautiful sets and some special effects, but that was a lot for the time. And then in
Yeah.
the theater, it grossed only 11 million, so it
Yeah.
bombed. They didn't recoup their losses on it.
Yeah, I don't think it got good reviews either.
No,
I should have looked that up.
I
But,
did. Yeah, Roger Ebert called it bleak, creepy, and bleak, creepy, and occasionally terrifying.
Really? Well, I mean,
And that's probably what killed it, is because I guess Disney was promoting it as a kids lighthearted movie, and
Yeah.
critics were telling people don't take your kids to see this movie.
Well, I don't even think I never blame critics. It's always word of mouth, you know.
Like, it's out.
Yeah, and also the marketing too.
It was
It's
bad.
like there's no way to market this movie as a fun adventure. Like this came out before Goonies,
Yeah.
so like there was no way to market it as I don't know, like but like
It was
that
kind of ahead of its time.
going back to our first episode on Star Wars is like I said in that episode is like Star Wars launched it made like sci-fi fantasy like mainstream because until then sci-fi movies were always like like more like the second run type movies like they were very niche but then like because Star Wars and the whole trilogy did so well that in the 80s and 90s you saw like so many sci-fi fantasy franchises and like and also Muppets like actually you got your great Muppet caper glass there. Oh yeah, we got these glasses at the flea market. Well, this one's peanut, but I had that one as a kid.
Where does it come from? Is it Pizza Hut?
Yeah, I think or McDonald's.
Yeah,
So
we had. I didn't
but
have
yeah,
this
like
one.
so like in the early 80s like all of a sudden they were making sci-fi fantasy movies mainstream like Labyrinth what's the other one? Dark Crystal, like Jim Henson.
Never Ending Story.
Yeah, Never Ending
which
Story.
Never Ending Story came out 2 years after this one, and you can tell because Never Ending Story is also kind of dark, but it's not as dark as this.
Yeah, and I remember that having like a little bit more. It was like more fun.
It was more fun. It was a little more lighthearted. There were dark moments,
Yeah.
like traumatizing moments in that movie we can discuss later, but this one didn't really seem to have a lot of bright spots in it. It was
Yeah.
just kind of bleak the entire time.
I mean, I've seen like way bleaker movies.
Yeah, but for kids, like there's no. I mean, okay, she's going to a dead kingdom.
Yeah.
I get it, but there's no color. It's just bleak the entire time. It's not visually. Well, there's some visual
and it's
elements
also
that are kind of cool, but
what it reminds me of is I don't know if you ever read any of the Narnia books and or saw any of the movies that they made a few years ago.
nope.
It's very similar to that. Very similar to the Lord of the Rings movies that came out in the early 2000s.
Yeah, I could see
Except
like Return
not-
of the King with
Not nearly as epic, and also
yeah.
it's the whole premise is rather ridiculous. I think it works in Wizard of Oz because like that's a musical.
Yeah.
And like it's clearly set like on a sound stage with it's like the tone isn't as like intense as this movie with the original Wizard of Oz. I think this movie would have worked better as a musical if they had just repeated that because like if you notice like there's like no there's hardly any music and like the score is not like an adventure score like the way like Goonies or Star Wars or any of those things would like it doesn't
Yeah.
it's not uplifting and like
Yeah.
and also like I said like just getting back what I was gonna say is that the whole premise is ridiculous is that a little 9-year-old girl gets whisked to this magic fantasy land and somehow beats not one but two magic like a wizard and a witch
Yeah.
it's like wow you really suck as a wizard and a witch if you get defeated by a 9-year-old girl.
Yeah, but if it's all in her head, she
Yeah.
controls everything because it's like her fantasy land, I guess.
I have a feeling we could probably look it up but I have a feeling like this movie and like again like those other Jim Henson movies like especially Labyrinth when maybe we can come back in a year we could compare the boy fantasy movie versus the girl like fantasy movie as far as like the male protagonist versus the girl protagonist and because like the girl protagonist movies are
Labyrinth.
yeah like they're more dark and like they're definitely not as violent because like Star Wars Goonies those types of movies like Time Bandits. Did you ever see that?
No.
You ever hear of that?
Never heard of it.
Ice Pirates.
What?
Yeah, I don't know. You missed all these early 80s sci-fi fantasy movies, but those were all like the male protagonists, and male audience driven movies were more about action and adventure, just, fighting your way out. Mm-hmm. Whereas this one is, it's a lot of like based on luck and, like nobody's scared of a 9-year-old girl, you know.
Well,
So it's like she just gets lucky, like with,
well,
you know.
in these girl movies, it's always about camaraderie too. She goes to this
Mhm.
place and she immediately just makes friends with everything that lives there. That's
Yeah.
not evil. So she gets like a little ragtag band of people that help her out.
Yeah, it's kind of cute like that. Yeah, like I think it might have worked better if there was two human protagonists. It could have been like maybe it was like a brother sister or like or she just had like a friend. I mean, we she does like there's the Ozma, the blonde girl,
Yes.
um, but she's only in it for a few like they don't have like a strong connection. You know,
Right.
it's
Yeah, and she is an unreliable narrator because you really don't know if she's actually crazy or not,
yeah, yeah,
or what, or dead or what. So we're not even sure Ozma really exists, I guess.
yeah. Well,
So and yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, the characters, I don't know. What do you think of them?
Again, very Star Wars influence. There's this robot called TikTok, which it's funny because like it's actually spelled the way TikTok, the app of today, is
No
spelled.
kidding.
You know,
It is. It's
TikTok.
got the dash in it.
Yeah,
TikTok.
I wonder if that's where they got it
Oh,
from,
for
or
sure. But yeah, he's
but
like this really.
he's very C3PO.
He's an obese robot.
Yeah,
He's really fat. I don't know why they made him so big.
yeah. It's just that Jim Henson, you know, silly. That's the thing about sci-fi fantasy is like. I should have mentioned this in the last when we did Star Wars and like I've been watching a lot of sci-fi movies the last year or two is like the thing about like with sci-fi is everything is like looks really cool but it's like so impractical, you know. Like the whole TikTok robot is, you know, he looks cool, it's really well designed, but like it's everything it's so impractical, you know.
Yeah, he's really wide and heavy. Whereas
Yeah,
like C3PO is lightweight and lean. But maybe that's just the only way they can get this thing to move
yeah,
without gravity defying it.
yeah, like
But then there was Jack Pumpkinhead, who's like a Jack
yeah,
Skellington.
I have a feeling that's where there's got to have been some influence there.
Absolutely, because he's long and way too thin, and he has a
Yeah.
giant pumpkin head.
Yeah, even
and
his face looks almost identical.
yeah, so I think Nightmare Before Christmas borrowed that character.
Yeah.
Dorothy, of course, Princess Mombi is the evil queen type character, and she's got
Yeah.
these things called the Wheelers, and they're like the flying
Yeah,
monkeys.
they're like the flying monkeys of this one.
And I think they nailed it because those things creep me out. I hate those
Yeah,
things.
when they first showed up, I was like, oh yeah, that's really creepy.
It's creepy, and then the
Yeah.
monkeys are extremely creepy. So I think they nailed that
Yeah.
part. But yeah, there was just like a
That's
I
how
don't
you make.
know. None of the characters were warm, and there was a chicken. I liked
Yeah.
the chicken.
Yeah, it was like a wisecracking, you know, like the typical just shuck and jive, you know.
There
like
was a lot of that in the '80s, like singing
Yeah.
and like friendly birds.
Yeah, well, or just you know side characters that all they're doing is just making sarcastic quips.
Yeah.
You know,
So
and just
she brought the chicken with her into the land, so they had a bond. So there was a loving relationship. But the other characters, I didn't really like them very much. I mean,
yeah,
maybe the moose
none of
head.
them are really
They're not great.
memorable, and like, and also, I mean, also just like the whole premise of all of them is like because they just kind of show up.
Yeah.
And like she's just like, all right, well, I guess we're friends now, you know?
Yeah, and they don't even like say any. I mean,
It's
they
hard-
just go with her. It's like, okay, we'll go with you.
Yeah, you can't really build like any kind of bonding relationship when people are just or these characters are just thrown together.
Yeah,
know?
but I do think like other movies like Labyrinth, they're more likable characters
Mm-hmm.
and warm, and like you like them better. I mean, I don't if the moose head had died, I don't know if I would have really minded.
Yeah, well, that would have been pretty dark.
Well, the pumpkin guy almost gets eaten by
Yeah.
that rock thing, and that's a traumatizing scene.
Although I would say, you know, one thing that was cool about this movie was like the old timey, you know, the '80s claymation and stop motion animation.
It was good.
Yeah, it's like it's creepy and it's I don't want to say it wasn't low budget for the time. I mean it's just low budget compared to today, but it's like
Dated.
again practical effects compared to you know AI or
Yeah.
CGI or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the whole rock thing. And it's funny because like they kind of rotates between like the actual like a rock that's like stop motion animation and then a guy in makeup. You know, I didn't realize it. I don't know how I didn't realize this, but it was like the guy who played the Gnome King was also the scientist guy, and the Mombi lady, the witch lady, was also the lady in the black dress at the insane asylum or wherever she was supposed to be. You know.
Yeah. So it was like the original Wizard of Oz. All the characters she met along the way were people she knew from the farm. So it's kind of the same thing. So when I saw when she was at the asylum, there was this woman and she had this beautiful black gown on. She was
Yeah.
really, and I was like, she's gonna be the witch because she was an
Yeah,
evil
you can.
character,
Yeah, I mean,
and
you're wearing all black. Yeah.
she ended up being the villain in her fantasy land. So she took them with her, kind of.
I
just
kind of
different
I
characters.
like when they do period stuff like that, and
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see like how authentic like the costume and all that stuff was. But I mean, they didn't really spend like, a whole lot of time in the like. It's supposed to take place in 1899. Because they actually make a point of saying we're going to be 1900 is in a few months or whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I asked, what time period is this? They're
Yeah.
riding a buggy. I don't know though.
I don't know what
because
year the original Wizard of Oz takes place. It's probably around the same time. It's like late 1800s.
Or it takes. Oh, I don't even know if they
Yeah.
say. It was filmed in the 30s.
Yeah, it was filmed. Yeah, but I assume the books. It's funny because I think if Frank Baum wrote those books like in his current time in the late 1800s, like that was like sci-fi for the time, or like you read or I never like there's a H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. Did you ever have to read that book in school?
I think I read half of it. I never read the whole thing.
I remember reading that in like probably 6th or 7th grade.
Yeah.
And I reread it about 10 or 15 years ago. It was a very quick I think I read the whole book in one day. It's a fairly short book, but like I love seeing like the old-timey sci-fi fantasy stuff of how what they think the future is going to be like compared to how it actually is. Like, and you don't even have to go back that far. You could just go back to like the 80s or 90s based on like, AOL dial-up and how they think, the future is going to be. Oh, that was funny. I forgot to mention this in our Star Wars episode last week. One of the plot holes in Star Wars is because like, like the whole point is that like Princess Leia gives the plans to the Death Star to R2-D2, and she has like it has to be physically delivered somewhere, and like but because they didn't have email when they made that movie, so like when we watch it now, we're like, why didn't she just email it?
Right.
But like going back in Rogue One, they explain why they can't just email it, like it has to be hand delivered or whatever. So yeah,
Makes sense.
we'll watch that someday. Yeah, we kind of got off topic, but
You don't watch a lot of horror movies, but they're setting a lot of them in the 70s and 80s, I think, just to eliminate the whole cell phone issue, because it's hard to have a plot now that doesn't involve technology, because it would just ruin everything. So,
yeah, and I certainly don't watch like any modern horror. Like,
I do. Yeah.
I never saw any of the Saw movies, or I don't know what's a current popular horror franchise like
Final Destination
That's
just
still
came out
going
with.
on.
Yeah, they came out with a new one, and it was really, really good. It's like the budget was crazy. So,
I never saw any of those. I never saw.
I saw them all. I saw them all.
I don't know.
So-
I just like to be scared.
I do. I don't know. There's something about being scared in like fiction worlds that makes reality less
Yeah.
scary. Maybe I don't know.
Would you say that this movie would you? I mean, I guess it's definitely scary for a kid. I mean, it's funny because it's too bad we don't have kids or have access to a kid. I have
So
a
we could
nephew.
traumatize them.
Well, yeah, I have like my nephew Logan. He's actually I think he's like 12 now, but it'd be fun to like watch some of these movies with him, or like to see like what a kid today would think of that. I think he probably would have been bored. He probably would have been like, these effects look so stupid compared to today,
That's what I mean. I don't think it really could have held the attention span of a child, especially, well, not even children today. I mean, especially not us, but
Yeah.
it was just kind of long.
Oh yeah, it was over long.
It is too dark to be a kid's movie. In my personal opinion, it's dark. There's like no hope. Okay, at the end, she's okay.
If they're gonna go dark, you have to. I think there's no problem with going dark, but like you have to have like a better
balance.
story.
That too.
Like, I think this script it definitely could have used another one or two rewrites. Like, it's funny, going back to our introduction episode where you talked about like the first scary movie you saw was Poltergeist.
Yeah.
I looked it up. That actually was rated PG. I always thought like that whole series was R, because like most 70s and 80s horror movies are R. But like, so maybe we can watch that next week or in a few months, or like maybe for October we can do scary movies.
I was thinking that, yeah.
It's but it's like if you're gonna go dark, like you might as well go like full on dark, or it's like, or at least be like, I don't know, like to me this movie just didn't feel complete because like I'm trying to follow the story and it's like actually not a whole lot actually happens, you know?
No, and the dialogue's not great. I mean, there are
Yeah.
times where she's just saying, wow. I mean, there wasn't a whole lot of dialogue going on considering how long it was.
Yeah, and I'd say Furzia Balk's acting was not very good either.
I thought she was so good. I had the opposite.
No, she seemed very stiff. Like she's very like clearly just reading lines. I mean, she's a
Wow.
fine actor now. I mean, I haven't. The only thing I really know, I think she was in it was either Waterboy or Little. She was in one of those Adam Sandler movies.
She was Nancy in The Craft. All goth girls know that
Yeah,
one.
I never saw that.
Oh my god,
I'm
she was
sure it's.
she was a much better actor by that point. But it's hard to believe it's the same person.
Wasn't she on like Buffy the Vampire Slayer or something like that?
I don't think so. I know she did like The Island of Dr. Moreau, which is another kind of grotesque movie.
Oh,
And
yeah.
she just did a lot of. She's
I
always
think that
done.
was Brando's last movie.
Yeah, he was gross.
Yeah, and it's funny because like in the first season of South Park, they actually parodied that movie.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then she hasn't really done much since then. I think she made it a cameo in the new. They remade it.
Which one?
The
Return
Craft.
to Oz.
The Craft.
Oh.
But
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
seen much of her. But I thought she was good.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I wonder, like, if you can get a DVD or Blu-ray, if there's a running commentary. I would be curious to see, like, you know, what she would say about that now. Like, what does she remember? I wonder how much she made. I bet you she made like probably 10 grand
I
for that
know.
movie,
Well,
and it probably just like went straight into a trust fund or something. You know?
oh, probably. I'm sure she's doing okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
But
I haven't heard about like so many of those child stars of the 70s and 80s just got royally screwed by their parents and agents and just like stole all their money. Corey Feldman is like always talking about that, you know.
yeah.
So I wonder if she ever had that problem.
I don't know. I don't know anything about her, honestly. I think she's a witch. She does, because after she did The Craft, she became a witch. That's all I know about Farouja Balk. But I thought she was pretty good.
She was like the only like human in the movie aside from like the beginning and the end with her family and the, you know
Well, the doctors and stuff that were
Yeah.
going to torture her, the doctor and
yeah
the evil woman that ran the asylum,
yeah
and the patients screaming in the asylum.
yeah I thought they could have went into like a little bit more detail with that because like there's that scene where they're at the witch's castle or whatever and it's like this big glorious room with like tons of mirrors.
Yeah,
That's
it's
probably
kinda,
where all the budget went. I think the budget probably went to like that room and the special effects.
yeah, there was a, what's that lady's name? The evil Mombi?
Mombi, yeah.
Mombi, yeah. She has a bunch of heads that she keeps and she puts on. I thought that was a cool
Yeah,
scene.
that was cool. And I think
Yeah.
I wonder if that inspired Futurama.
Oh,
It reminds me of Futurama
they
where
just
like they're
trade the head.
a hall of heads.
That's
Yeah.
definitely inspired by
Yeah.
that. It's
Yeah.
just weird. It's a Disney movie, and I was thinking it's really weird that's a Disney movie, but they also did The Black Cauldron, I think, around that time, and I remember that being really dark.
Oh yeah,
So
that was an animated one. Yeah.
they went through a really dark period, and it was weird
There's so many.
because
Go ahead.
it opened up. There's nothing. He's just like, were there credits? It just says Return to Oz, and then
Yeah.
there's no
It's a cold
music.
opening. Yeah, there's no music. I think that's one of the reasons, which is really ironic because the director is a, sound guy. I think it's more sound effects and not music.
Yeah.
But you would think like a sound guy would have like an ear for that. But like,
Right.
yeah, like it. I think like the lack of like a memorable score. Like maybe they got John Williams. It could have been a little bit more memorable.
The music didn't really
Yeah.
lend itself to helping it much.
Or if they had done it as a musical, like the original Wizard of Oz.
I mean, that would have been really weird. If it was a
Yeah.
musical on top of that, people would have been like, this is just a drug movie. 'Cause
Yeah. What I was gonna say is like so many of these movies that like you're talking about, and a lot of those Disney movies, like a lot of them I just remember seeing like on like Saturday afternoon on like UHF TV, 4x3 commercial breaks, all that,
Yeah.
or like maybe we rented it from the video store once,
Which
you know.
it's weird that I've never seen this because they must have really hid it because, we rented everything from, box office video, and we would record things from TV on the Beta.
Oh, yeah.
So I would watch it over and over, and this never played on TV that I can recall ever.
Did you have cable growing up?
We got cable when I was probably 5 or 6 because we got MTV.
We never had cable, and my parents it wasn't until I don't know 10 years ago that they got cable, and they have the most bare bones basic package. I think they still have it.
Yeah.
But
and we had Disney Channel when it came out, and we had HBO, and I never
Really?
saw this movie.
I always felt like the poor kid because all my friends had cable, and so and it was it was funny because there'd be tiers within tiers of not only do people have cable, but some people have HBO or Cinemax or so which you have to add on top of your cable subscription.
Kind of like how it is today. I
Yeah.
mean, but yeah, we would have periods where we'd have HBO and periods where we'd have
But
Cinemax.
You were over to friend's house to watch R-rated movies on HBO at night? Because you could, because they could show anything on HBO. All the nudity and violence and all that stuff.
Oh yeah, like Skinamax. Remember that?
Yeah.
Like a Skinamax After Dark.
Yeah. I remember watching those movies at my friend's house, when we had birthday party sleepovers.
Yeah.
We would be staying up till 2 a.m. watching these god awful softcore porn.
Oh my god.
It was it wasn't even softcore. It was just lots of boobs and stuff.
Yeah.
All these terrible they call them sex comedies, but yeah. We're getting way off topic, but
The unscrambled channels.
yeah. So I don't know. Watching this now, I was okay, glad I watched that, and like I said, I did jog a couple memories, a couple scenes, but as watching it as an adult, I'm this movie's, kind of dumb. I think it's a bad script. It's a bad, the whole premise is kind of ridiculous. I think it needs a rewrite. It should have had better music, or it just the whole something substantial needed to be changed. Like I said, either they should have done it they could have, if it had been a dark musical, I think that would have been more memorable, or they could have just rewrote it from scratch and made it a more happy kind of movie.
Well, I mean, they had The Wiz, which was a musical. Maybe that's why they didn't do it, because there was already The Wiz.
Yeah, but that's almost like a parody of The Wizard of Oz.
I don't think I've ever seen it. I just know it's a musical and it's more rainbowy.
Yeah, that's a comedy musical. It's not, and that's also more of a stage play, not really so much as a movie.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I'm seeing it in my 40s versus seeing it when I was a kid, for damn sure. I mean, it was dark. I don't know why they made it.
I think as we go along, we're gonna see even darker. Cause I think Labyrinth, and I think a lot of those Jim Henson movies,
Dark Crystal,
are darker than. And I remember there's so many, I just have these just vague memories of scenes of seeing, there was so many of those, mind benders for kids back in the 70s and 80s, and they could still get away with a PG rating, or even Gremlins. Which I believe is a PG, maybe PG-13. That's a pretty dark, but it also has it's dark, but at the same time it has a humorous tone, which this movie lacked. I don't think there's anything especially funny on it. It was what they're trying to be. There was
nothing.
It was just mostly cornball jokes,
Yeah.
the talking chicken was just everything she says is just some sarcastic thing,
It's stupid.
Yeah,
It's
some vaudeville, how she talks, how a puppet, a mannequin, or a ventriloquist puppet talks, every ventriloquist puppet ever.
She's got one-liners.
Yeah.
She says something stupid, and it might have been. I don't even know if it was funny back then. Probably not.
Yeah.
But they're groaners.
So,
But at least she's there. But yeah, the Dark Crystal. I don't know. This one's just
is that
completely dark the whole time.
what you want to watch next for your pick, Dark Crystal, or?
Have you seen it?
I may have.
Have you seen The Secret of Nim?
I don't think so. A lot of these movies I've seen.
That's a good one because that one is disturbing.
Something I've seen. I've seen like Nostalgia Critic or like other movie, reviewers on YouTube. Like going back to like the early generation of YouTube, I've seen like a lot of those people review those movies. So it's like I kind of get, like I said in the introductory episode, I feel like I've got the gist of it without actually having seen it. Like I've seen like reviews of like every Friday the 13th movie without ever actually seeing it.
Yeah.
So I think like a lot of like the plot twists and stuff, like they wouldn't come as a surprise to me because like I've already seen Nostalgia Critic or somebody like that review it. So
I'd like to touch on like the more well-known ones, but if you know of any disturbing kids movies that are kind of maybe not as well known, go ahead and let us know.
I bet a lot of them are like
from
overseas, especially German. Yeah.
I've seen some German stuff that's pretty wicked, weird. So yeah. But even English, I don't know, because I wasn't too familiar with this one, honestly. Like I said, it was Disney, but I had no clue about it. So
yeah, I'm not like the biggest Disney fan either.
I am, but this is bad.
I mean, I always liked. I don't know, like as a kid, I probably saw like every animated Disney movie. Like all the classics: Snow White, Cinderella, even like The Sword and the Stone, Black Cauldron.
Yeah.
I probably saw those once or twice, but like they never stuck with me the way like Star Wars and Ghostbusters, Back to the Future, those types of movies.
I went to my parents' house and got like a big box of VHS with all the original, really nice box art. So I have like the entire collection on VHS. So
I don't know. Maybe we have to get a VCR and watch it on my CRT TV.
Yeah, because I have stuff that we may not be able to get anywhere. I don't know about. I don't think Black Cauldron is streaming anywhere, is it? Disney used to
I would think it would be on. As far as I know, the only Disney movie that they buried was Song of the South.
Song of the South for good reason.
Which is funny because every time I open up Facebook Messenger or Facebook Marketplace, it shows me an ad for you can buy Song of the South on DVD for like $20 because it was released overseas. So you can get like an overseas copy.
My dad has a copy from Japan. We watched it as a family one Christmas, and it's just a bad movie. It's just terrible.
Do you still have it?
Yeah.
See, yeah, maybe we can.
We can watch it, and you can just see it's terrible.
Maybe that's kind of a long ways off, but anyway.
Yep.
So
I
really
want to sit through it again.
For next week, we're gonna continue with the Star Wars. We'll do Empire Strikes Back, and then you get to pick again. So I don't know if you want to pick now or next week.
No, I gotta think about it.
You gotta think about it? Okay.
Yep, got some time.
Yeah. And then I thought like for October we could do like, horror movie month. I guess mine would be like Ghostbusters or I don't know. I have to think about it. I know you saw Ghostbusters, I'm sure, right?
Yeah. Ghostbusters.
I haven't watched it in a while, but
I like Ghostbusters 2 better, actually.
Oh, blasphemy. You're like the only person that likes it better.
I think it had a better soundtrack. But yeah, and I don't know if I consider that, but it's a ghost movie, so it counts.
And then I don't know what theme we could have for November, but I mean, then we roll right into the holidays and we have a million Christmas movies to choose from,
Does nostalgia cover the 90s?
Yeah, we're doing everything 20th century. So
okay.
I think our cutoff is December 31st, 1999. Although I would not like there's like some modern retro things like that TV show The Goldbergs, like that it's that movie or that show I think it went from like 2010 to like 2022 or something like that. Right about 10 years or 2012, 2022, something like that. Because like it takes place in the 80s, but it's a modern show. Like we could maybe talk about that, or I don't know. Like and like there's so many like Star Wars spoofs and things like that. Like maybe we could do an episode just on like Robot Chicken Star Wars and like behind the scene. Like there's the toy. Did you ever see that series, The Toys That Made Us? That's on Netflix.
No.
That's
what about Spaceballs?
Yeah, Spaceballs. Yeah, like maybe we could like combine all those into one episode, like Star Wars spoofs, or
just have spoofs.
Yeah, we'll
figure it out.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. All right, so I guess that wraps it up for another episode of His and Hers podcast. I am Chad.
I'm Cristina.
And I guess we'll see you.
We'll see you on the flip side.
I know we're still trying to come up with an outro.
We'll see you on the flip side.
And an intro.
Does anyone else do that?
Yeah. See you on the flip flop.
Goodbye.
Sit on it.